Good afternoon. Welcome to Fit and Active Escapades. Here in the afternoon, it's another rainy day in the Northwest. Was going to do a video on running and biking, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. But today, I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a quick video on one of my new ventures, and that's continuous blood glucose monitoring. And before you shut it off and say, hey, I'm not diabetic, this is not for me, whatever, I'm not diabetic either. Let me give you a quick background of how this came about with me. Several months ago, I did some blood work for something completely unrelated, and I had my A1C checked just for the heck of it. And if anybody doesn't know, an A1C is just a couple month average of what your blood glucose is. And although it came back and it wasn't bad, it was still higher than what it should be, and that kind of surprised me because I think I eat very healthy. I exercise a lot. I do have a hell of a sweet tooth, and that is my weakness, and that is my vice. I have a hell of a sweet tooth. Anyway, it was not diabetic, but it was higher than it should be. And so recently, I had my A1C checked again just to see where it was going, see what was up with it. And again, it wasn't bad, it wasn't outrageous, but still it was higher. It went up, and it was higher than what I felt it should be. So anyway, my wife had said, well, hey, why don't we get a continuous blood glucose monitor and see what's going on with it. And so initially I said, I monitor enough things. I don't need to go through this and monitor something else in addition to everything else I'm doing. After a while it just gets to be, you get inundated with this stuff. But after a little bit of talking and pushing, I decided to look into the continuous blood glucose monitoring. Reason being, I feel that, I do believe, I've heard this before and I do believe it, is that diabetes is one of the four horsemen of death. Not diabetes per se itself, but the complications that go along with it. So I think it's very critical that all of us know where we are with it. So anyway, did some research into continuous blood glucose monitoring, and found a company called Abbott, and I'd heard of them before, and I think they're a pretty reputable medical supplier. So anyway, I thought about, cost, what's this going to run? I don't want to do this forever, blah, blah, blah. And then you can monitor your glucose, get the kit for it. You can do it 2 weeks or intervals thereof. So I decided to do it for two-week periods for a month. I got the kit mailed to me. Very affordable. It was under $50 for the monitor for 2 weeks. And again, you could do it in multiple 2 weeks. I don't even know what you could do it up to. But I just thought I would do this for maybe 2 weeks. I got two of them, so I'm going to do it for a month to kind of see where I am with my blood glucose. So just to show you, I do have the monitor on. And I was thinking with this thing, is it gonna hinder me? Am I gonna be able to work out? Is it gonna be bothering me, whatnot? Thing is, it was a simple application, didn't hurt at all. I never even know it's even there. Yeah, I've had it on for about a week now, and it's one of the most simple things I've had. And again, I'm just looking at where my blood glucose is. And why is this important? I'm not diabetic. Why should I even care? And I thought the same thing too. I thought, we're monitoring so much stuff now. I'm monitoring a lot. One thing, I like it. I have actually a good time doing it. But nevertheless, you get to a point where you don't need to monitor. But one of the things is, we live in a world where we are so inundated with so much information as far as diets go, how to exercise, how to eat, how to do something. One person says it's right, the next person says it's wrong. You flip through your phone, you find so much contradiction. And so, yes, maybe it is a little much in monitoring all this stuff. But for me, it's a way to take back control of some of that stuff. I can look at my blood glucose, I can look at what I'm eating, I can look at what's happening, and I can make the decision as to what I need to do, instead of just flipping through my phone and saying, hey, this guy says this is a great diet, this is something fantastic. I mean, we're right now going through this protein craze where they slap protein in everything we eat. You get protein in potato chips, protein in ice cream. Starbucks has jumped on the bandwagon to where they're putting in their drinks. And, come on, if there's plenty of ways to get protein. Get your protein some other way. If you want to enjoy ice cream, if you want to enjoy potato chips, you want to have a Starbucks drink, have it. But don't do it because you're trying to get protein. It's probably not a good protein to begin with. So anyway, with that said, having this thing on for a week now has been really eye-opening for me. It's showing me all my ups and downs on my glucose throughout the day. And I'm not fanatic about it and just watching it every minute of the day, but I do watch it and I put in my meals so I can kind of see where things are going. And what you're trying to do with this is you'll see, it's showing you all the spikes and falls that you have with your blood sugar throughout the day. And I thought, well, if you're going to get these big spikes, you're going to get everything else if you're eating a lot of sugar, if you're eating a lot of crap, excuse my language, but if you're eating a bunch of junk, and that's going to cause all these spikes, these drops. That's where all the negativity is going to show with this stuff. And what you want to do is avoid these spikes, high spikes, high drops. That is what's going to be the downfall of your blood sugar. And the blood glucose, we all need it. It's what fuels our cells. It's what gives us energy. It's what keeps us going. And what I'm finding out is it isn't just sugar. I'm not just eating some candy and then that's spiking my stuff. It involves every bit of my meals, what I'm doing, and why we're trying to avoid this stuff. In the short term, these spikes and falls, what it's creating is we're getting our cravings. When you peak up and then drop way down, that's where you're getting all these cravings for more sweets, more carbs, more something else. It affects our emotions. It affects our circadian rhythms, our biological rhythms. In the long run, it can cause problems with cognitive dysfunction, causes problems with oxidative stress, inflammation, and even blood flow in there. So that's why, we're trying to control these ups and downs. And in doing that, it's a lot to do with the type of carbs that we're getting, the type of sugar. You're getting complex versus your simple. Your complex being like whole grains, starch and fiber, simple being sugars and dairies. And then you're getting refined carbs, complex carbs, where they're removing many of the nutrients. And an example of how this has been so eye-opening for me, for just my breakfast, for my, because I work 12-hour shifts, so I'd call it, I guess, my lunch. I have most of the time cottage cheese with a lot of fruit. And I thought, I'm having all this fruit, that's probably it's before I even started measuring, I was thinking, I'm having all this fruit, it's probably spiking my blood sugar, sending everything all over the place. With this monitor, I'm looking at it and it's relatively mild. It's not causing a big problem. On the flip side, I was taking rice cakes, flavored rice cakes, 3 a day. I would have them as a snack. And surprisingly, I ate these things. And I'm looking at the monitor on my phone, and after eating them, my blood sugar spiked, and it spiked a lot, not a little bit. And so I'm assuming it's the processed carbs in there, it's the sugar, whatever it is. But here I am thinking, I'm being really good, I'm having rice cakes, blah, blah, blah. And it's one of the huge contributors to the spikes and falls in my blood sugar. On the flip side, I said, last Sunday I went to get had a maple bear claw size. And I thought, this is going to skyrocket this blood sugar. This is going to do it. I ate this before I went to work out. It had the the maple bear claw. No huge spikes. It did raise the blood sugar, but there was no huge spikes with this. So, the point I'm making here is that a lot of assumptions, at least I made, was that it's simple, just avoid the sugar. And we're not looking at the big picture, everything else we're eating. Again, another example. Normally I'll take leftover food. I try and eat healthy during the day and whatnot, but one day at work, I didn't have any leftovers, so I had I believe it was, I may be wrong, but I believe it was Kevin's. It was some sort of chicken and rice meal. I had that. I had teriyaki bites, 2 small oranges, and a Cliff Bar. So in my thinking, that's not a bad meal for me to have. It was the biggest spike that I had in my blood sugar. Biggest spike, biggest fall. And again, this is just eye-opening stuff that I'm seeing. So do I plan on going on watching, this continual blood sugar monitoring, watching everything that's going on forever or for a long period of time? No, I don't. I'll probably do it for the month, maybe a little longer, just till I kind of figure out exactly what I'm eating, what's happening. Maybe a little less. I don't know yet. But anyway, I've done it for a week now. It has been so informative for me just to take a look at it. So I don't expect everybody to run out and get a blood glucose monitor. Hey, I need to see what's happening. It's just something I'm doing. And for me, it's been really informative. And I just think in this day and age that where we've got so much, we're just so flooded with information on the internet, on our phones, on the TV, on YouTube. We're flooded with so much stuff. It's hard to tell what is the right thing, what is not. So yeah, I monitor a lot of stuff. But that's it's empowering me to be able to make some decisions as to this is what I need to eat. This is how I need to exercise. I need this much sleep. It's just so many things. But yeah, it's a lot of monitoring. And am I gonna just keep on doing this monitoring forever? No. But I'm getting a good idea of what I need to do. It's just I did my FitnessPal program on my phone, letting me, tracking my macros, my protein, my fat, my carbs, trying to see where it was. Do I continue to do it? No, I did it. It's a lot of work. I did it for a short time, and I kind of have an idea now where I need to be with my meals and what I need, how I need to eat and whatnot. So I don't keep on doing it. Same thing with this continuous blood glucose monitor. I'm not going to keep doing it, but it has given me a lot of insight as to where I need to go and what I need to do. So I think it's a great thing. I think it's a really good thing. Again, I use the one, I know there's a number out there. I don't know how many, but anyway, it's made by Abbott. It's called Lingo. And like I said, you could buy this. I got 2 of these. Each one lasts supposedly 2 weeks. And so I'm going to try and do it for a month. I paid for it with my HSA, so it was kind of painless. And it was under $50. So pretty good deal just to try and see, at least give me an idea of what I'm doing. And it's, like I said, it's been eye-opening. So I recommend it. I think it's a great tool if that's really what you want to do. And if you think about it, it plays such a huge factor in our lives. Not just weight loss, but the way we live. If we have energy to do something, just daily living, take exercise and working out and all this other stuff out of the equation. Our blood glucose and how we eat is just driving how we live our lives, how much energy we have to do things. So it's a big, it's an important thing with us. So again, if you're interested, I think it's an excellent tool. So anyway, tomorrow I'll do, depending on the rain, either do an outside ride or a ride inside, and kind of go from there. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day today, and I will talk to you soon, and see you soon.